This is Shane. Good to see you today here at His Vision Ministries. Today we're going to speak on this subject, strength for today. And we've been in a Nugget Series that I've entitled Hope Through the Hurt. And that's, in other words, we've been talking about finding God's presence in and through all your pain. Today we're going to be in one of my favorite verses in the Old Testament, Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 31. You know, pain can leave us exhausted. Think about it. Emotional wounds drain our strength just as surely as physical labor. Some mornings it feels difficult just to get out of bed, to be honest with you. And we wonder how we can just keep moving forward. I want to tell you, my friend, this today. God never intended His children to rely solely on their own strength. Not at all. And so Isaiah declared here that those who wait upon the Lord, he says here in Isaiah 40:31, shall renew their strength. I want you to notice that God doesn't simply refill our energy so that we can become self-sufficient again. Instead, He continually teaches us to depend on Him. You know, think about the Apostle Paul. He experienced ongoing hardship. He pleaded 3 times for God to remove whatever this thorn in the flesh was. But instead of removing it, guess what? God answered, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." And so weakness often becomes the place where God's power is displayed most clearly. And we live in a culture today that prizes independence and self-reliance. You know, Scripture teaches us something very different than that. It reminds us that spiritual strength grows through our dependence upon Christ. You know, sometimes God's strength arrives one day at a time. He provides enough grace for today's burden, tomorrow's burden tomorrow, and next week's burden next week. And that's just really how it works out. Friend, let me say this. Don't become discouraged if you cannot see years into the future. I'm thankful we can't see into the future. God rarely gives grace for tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. He simply asks us to do one thing, and that is to trust Him. You know, it's kind of like in the Old Testament when we read about manna in the wilderness through the Exodus stage. And, you know, His provision is fresh every single morning. And the journey may still be difficult, but as His strength, it never runs dry. So ask yourself this question today. Where do you most need God's strength today instead of relying on your own? And really what I'd like for you to take away from this nugget today is that God's strength is greatest when we recognize our weakness. Friend, thank you for joining as always for these daily nuggets. I pray you have a blessed Wednesday. Check us out online at hisvision.org. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Lord willing, we'll see you again next time. Take care.